I've not wanted to do this. I mean, it's come to me here and there, and I guess it's time to do this video. I want to speak to the Trump supporters who feel as though wearing a mask is self-defeating or is a political issue, or want to put the narrative out that coronavirus doesn't kill everybody it hits. I want to say I actually agree, and I hope they don't take preparations. I've gotten to the point, if I'm in a truck stop and I see guys not washing their hands, I laugh. Because, at one time it was this joke about it being in the cities, and in my mind, you're going to bring it home with you. You're going to take it back to your communities. That's a beautiful thing. To areas where you don't have the medical resource you have here. And see, the beautiful thing about Trump is, it's the beautiful thing about Trump in relation to the right. If right-wingers start dying in Kansas, Trump isn't going to care any more about them than our black asses in Charlotte. He won't. Like, in essence, the Trump supporters, their place is like Nazis on the Eastern Front. Like, that's to me how I see those guys out there with the guns and all that. You work for a living, it's like I do. And you want to risk spreading this disease. You're going to take it home to areas that don't have the preparations, and they don't take it seriously either. And when they start dying, that's going to hurt you differently, your communities differently, than it will us in the city. Because you don't have resources. A lot of these southern areas, they don't have the resource. They don't. They really don't. I learned that when the drugs, fentanyl stuff started coming out. And you're talking about small communities having trouble dealing with that. They don't have the resources. They don't. And what Trump has done, these governors that have these really large areas, and the liberal governors who would love to put more restrictions on the country, they can't do it because it's hard to do it because the government's not flying air cover for them. They have no federal government to fall back on. They had some regulations come out recently that were leaked that were supposed to explain to the churches, to the schools, how to reopen. Trashed all of it. I knew it was all lies. I knew when they came out and they were talking about that, I knew that was all BS. I knew it was all BS about that. That this would be another half-stepping measure that Trump wants to. I don't even know why Trump does that anymore. Like, I mean, it doesn't hurt me, but I don't understand why Trump pretends to even care about science. Like, is it like he's just fire Fauci, fire everybody in the CDC, and just get rid of the CDC? I mean, really, if we're going to stop funding the WHO, a world leader in infectious substances, if we're going to go out and attack the UN, and we're going to threaten to put tariffs on the European Union, I mean, if that's what's happening, why not just fire the CDC, get rid of the CDC? Why not? I want to be clear about this. I want to be very clear to all the Trump supporters, to all these white supremacists out here in the streets. I totally support them being able to go out here and get the disease if they want to. One caveat. I think they should have to wear a red wristband, and you can go anywhere you want with that. You can go anywhere you want with the red wristband. But that red wristband will signify if you get sick. They'll take you to the hospital. They don't know take you to the hospital. But once you get there and you test positive, they've got to put you out of the hospital within a matter of hours. Put you on the street. I'm serious. I am deadly serious. See, to me, Trump and COVID-19, as horrible as it is, and as sorrowful as I am for the families that have lost people, for the communities that are affected and will continue to be affected into the future, to the small business owners. See, I think about the small businesses like I thought about when Trump shut the government down for his wall. I felt the same about that. That there's people who have just gotten in the federal government and then they get furloughed, they get laid off. You know, I feel the same way about them. The same way about them. Very tragic. Small businesses just get off the ground a month, 2 weeks before March, and then bam, these businesses will never reopen. I've already talked about how even after this is over with, a lot of people, myself considered, a lot of people, myself included, don't intend to go out to the restaurants and the movie theaters anytime soon. That's real talk. I want to be clear about something. Like I said, my heart goes out to those communities. My heart goes out to anybody that's affected. That's sad. But I think America had to have this. I think sometimes, like, extreme conservatism and all that, people get hooked into it. And I think to add to it with Trump, you had this idea of an alternative, that you're fighting the establishment and getting back at Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, in my opinion at least, kind of signified the worst of Obama. We've all got our best, and we've all got our worst. And Hillary signified that. Benghazi, the taking down of Gaddafi, the lies she told. I mean, just all of it, man. I don't like her. I don't like her personally. Here's the caveat: if you make less than $100,000 a year, and the U.S. government defunds all these medical support or these grants, these hospitals, you and people around you will be disproportionately affected. But there's a lot of black folks voted for Trump. I didn't. A lot of black folks voted for Trump, and I just feel like sometimes black people and your lower class people have to get a wake up, a slap in the face, a splash of water in the face, if you will. That's what Trump was. It's like Reagan closing all the medical facilities for people who are mentally ill. That's what this is. And what happened to the people? They wound up on the streets. The crime rate went up, and that was the beginning of locking up mentally ill people, throwing them in prison for things they did where they're clearly not well. They're not in their right mind. That still goes on to this day. So I think, I'm in a way I'm an accelerationist. I've talked to people, and I tell them that Trump still got a chance to be reelected. And folks get mad at me. Folks get real hot at me about that, and that's fine. But it's true. Biden could do something and fuck up, say something stupid, and something come out about Biden in the future that's really ugly. And I keep feeling like deep down in myself, we're all waiting for the next shoe to drop. That there's more stuff coming out about Biden. It's worse. We have not heard the end of it. And so I'm not trying to downplay it. He may have done those things. I'm not. You're not going to hear me say, well, to defeat Trump, we shouldn't listen to a rape survivor. No, she might have been raped. And I'm not going to change my morality because of it. I'm a prepper, folks. It may not seem like it. I'm a prepper. And, the Trump administration just solidified certain beliefs I already have, which is that we're living in the long emergency. And James Kunstler wrote that book, and he wrote another one called Too Much Magic. I ain't read it yet. That's his follow-up to it. I guess like 5 years, 10 years down the line, certain things he said that happened, certain things haven't happened. He didn't really go into the fact that you have systems that just aren't funded. So the crisis, because he talked about peak oil, talked about climate change, he talked about diseases, he talked about a lot of Basically, the Western system's crumbling. But what he didn't discuss is just how you would have a system that is chosen to disinvest in our communities. And so any little crisis 10 times worse. I'm a prepper. I got a little 5-gallon jug. I got a bunch of water. I need to get some more. I have like 15 water jugs out. I'm honestly, I may wait till the fall before I start doing that. And you just keep them outside. I got a little storage thing out there that I can put everything in there. So, but a part of me kind of thinks maybe Trump should be reelected. That Americans haven't learned the lesson of what extreme capitalism really is. So that's what you're looking at. You're looking at extreme capitalism. You're looking at what happens. You're looking at a pandemic response having to rely on GoFundMe. And us having to wait for billionaires to give us money. That's charity, guys. Nothing wrong with charity. Nothing wrong with people helping out in emergency. But we should not rely on private funds. No matter how prosperous people are, we shouldn't rely on that. That's what Trump has done. It makes me sick to think about him taking equipment from medical services and hospitals and firefighters and then auctioning it off to the highest level, the highest bidder. That bothers me. That really bothers me. It does. It bothers me, y'all. I'm not going to sit here and play like it doesn't. So, but, it is what it is. Peace.